Welcome to the Audio Focus series, a collection of deeper, more immersive stories designed for thoughtful listening. These episodes are slightly longer than usual, crafted to slow you down and draw you in. Each one explores real people and real-life examples from around the world, not just for who they are, but for what they teach us. In this episode, we dive into the quiet power of Cillian Murphy. He's not loud, he's not flashy, but his presence is unforgettable. Through his life and choices, we'll explore how stillness can be strength, how boundaries protect brilliance, and how ambition doesn't need to shout to be heard. This isn't just a profile. It's a reflection on how we live, how we show up, and how we can lead with quiet clarity in a noisy world. Let's begin. In a culture that rewards noise, Cillian Murphy has built a life and a career on something else. Not on shouting, not on spectacle, but on presence. He doesn't chase the spotlight. He doesn't flood interviews with endless words. He doesn't live in Hollywood's constant glare. And yet, when he steps on screen, the world stops. His stillness becomes gravity. His quiet becomes command. This is the paradox of Cillian Murphy, a man who proves that ambition doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. That success doesn't require noise, only clarity. In a world that often confuses volume with value, Cillian reminds us that there is another way, a way of living that is deliberate, a way of working that is focused, a way of being that is quietly magnetic. So let's explore what we can learn from him and how his quiet ambition can shape the way we live, work, and move through the world. Chapter 1: Presence Without Performance. On screen, Cillian Murphy rarely raises his voice. His characters don't overwhelm you with volume, they draw you in with subtlety. They hold your attention not by force but by gravity. There's something deeply compelling about someone who doesn't need to perform to be noticed. Cillian's presence is magnetic, not because he demands attention, but because he embodies it. Psychologists call this the quiet confidence effect. When someone speaks less but with intention, people lean in. It's the paradox of power. The less you try to dominate, the more people want to listen. This isn't just a cinematic trick. It's a principle you can apply in your own life. In your next conversation, pause before you speak. Let silence breathe. Choose your words with care. Instead of filling every gap with noise, allow your presence to do the work. You'll notice something shift. People begin to listen more closely. Not because you're louder, but because you're more deliberate. Research from Harvard shows that people who communicate with brevity and clarity are often seen as more competent, more trustworthy, and more emotionally intelligent. Cillian reminds us, you don't need to perform to be heard. You only need to be present. Chapter 2: Protecting Energy. During the filming of Oppenheimer, Cillian often skipped cast dinners. Not because he was cold or distant, but because he was protecting his focus. He understood something that many of us forget. Energy is finite, and attention is sacred. In a world that glorifies constant availability, Cillian chose intentional absence. He chose to preserve his energy for the work that mattered most. This is a lesson we can all take into our daily lives. Before saying yes to another commitment, pause and ask, does this serve my energy? Does this align with my values? Does this move me closer to what I care about, or further away? Try creating one small boundary this week. Maybe it's a phone-free hour. Maybe it's declining a meeting that doesn't need you. Maybe it's simply resting when your body asks you to. A study from the University of Toronto found that people who set clear boundaries experience less burnout, greater focus, and more sustainable performance. Protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's strategy. It's the fuel that allows you to show up fully when it matters. Cillian's choice to step back wasn't withdrawal. It was wisdom. It was discipline. It was quiet ambition in action. Chapter 3: Privacy is Power. Unlike many actors, Cillian Murphy avoids Hollywood's constant exposure. He lives in Ireland, close to family, far from the noise. He doesn't chase visibility. He chooses alignment. Privacy for him is not hiding. It's choosing. It's living by his own rhythm, not someone else's spotlight. This is rare, and it's powerful. We live in a time where sharing is constant, where visibility is often mistaken for value. But Cillian reminds us that the most meaningful things often happen off camera. You can bring this into your own life. Carve out one space that belongs only to you. A quiet corner, a journal, a walk without your phone. Protect it fiercely, not because you're escaping, but because you're returning to yourself, to your values, to your rhythm. Research from the University of Rochester shows that people who prioritize autonomy, living by their own values rather than external pressure, report higher well-being, greater resilience, and deeper satisfaction. Cillian's life reminds us, you don't need to be everywhere to matter. Sometimes the most powerful choice is to step back. Chapter 4. Minimalism and Expression. In interviews, Cillian speaks softly, measured, intentional. Every word feels chosen. He doesn't rush to fill the silence. He lets the silence carry weight. This is verbal minimalism. Not emptiness, but precision. In a world of endless chatter, Cillian's restraint feels radical. It's not that he says less. It's that he says only what matters. You can try this too. In your next email, cut it down by half. In conversation, replace filler with pause. Speak only what matters. You'll notice something shift. People begin to hear you more clearly. Because you're not just speaking, you're resonating. Stanford research shows that deliberate, concise communication increases perceptions of authenticity and emotional intelligence. Cillian's restraint is not a lack. It's a form of mastery. It's the art of saying less and meaning more. Chapter 5. Quiet Ambition. Cillian Murphy has reached the highest recognition, an Academy Award. But he didn't chase celebrity culture. He didn't build a brand around visibility. His ambition is quiet, but it's undeniable. This is a different kind of drive, not fueled by applause, but by depth. He doesn't need to announce his goals. He lets the work speak. He lets the results whisper. You can practice this too. Write down one goal that matters deeply to you. Strip away the noise. Why do you want it? Who is it for? Focus on the intrinsic reason, the part that's about mastery, about meaning, about contribution. Harvard research shows that people who pursue intrinsic goals, those rooted in personal growth, purpose, and service, achieve more sustainable success than those chasing fame or wealth. Quiet ambition is not less ambition. It's ambition with depth. It's ambition that lasts. Chapter 6. The Aura Effect. People often describe Cillian as magnetic, not because he's loud, but because he's grounded. His calm presence changes the atmosphere around him. It regulates, it soothes, it commands. This is the aura effect, and it's something you can cultivate. Before entering a room, take 3 slow breaths. Drop your shoulders. Enter with calm, not rush. Your energy precedes your words. Your stillness becomes contagious. Your quiet becomes command. Neuroscience shows that calm behavior in one person can regulate stress in others. This is why Cillian's presence feels contagious. His stillness becomes a mirror. His quiet becomes command. You don't need to impress. You only need to arrive, fully, calmly, and intentionally. Chapter 7. Final Reflection. Cillian Murphy teaches us that stillness can be more powerful than noise. Boundaries protect the energy that fuels greatness. Privacy is not hiding, it's choosing. Quiet ambition is not weakness, it's strength with direction. This is not just a portrait of a man. It's a mirror, a reminder, a guide. In a world that moves fast, speaks loud, and demands more, Cillian shows us that less can be more. That quiet can be powerful. That presence can be enough. So the next time you feel pressure to be louder, faster, more visible, remember this. Your presence doesn't need to shout. It only needs to resonate. If this episode resonated with you, if it made you pause, reflect, or see things differently, consider subscribing to the channel. This audio-focused series is all about slowing down and diving deeper into real stories that inspire real change. Share this video with someone who values quiet strength. Like it if you found something meaningful here. And leave a comment. I'd love to hear how you're applying these ideas in your own life. Thanks for listening. Until next time, stay grounded, stay intentional, and keep showing up with quiet clarity.